Hello and welcome to the Select Characters Podcast. I'm Sam Yates. I will be your host this week, and I'm joined by my very good friend, Jamie Van Lent. What's up, Jamie?
Oi, how's it going?
It's great, man. It's great. It's a little lonely in here. There's a little more space than I'm used to.
It is. It's nice, though. It's like some personal time between us.
Yeah, like me and you, now we can really stretch our arms out, which I do like that part. But nobody else is here. It's just me and Jamie this week. And we're going to take you on a dazzling tour through the world of some video game topics, I suppose, as far as what we've been playing and the news. You know the drill. You've been here before. Do you want to do an intro thing? Do you want to talk to me about something? What's up with you? How are things?
I'm good. I got my VR headset this week.
Oh, interesting.
The PlayStation VR. So that's taken over my life now.
All right, let's talk about that. Give me the deets, man.
Oh, it's amazing. I always buy into the gimmicks, right? So Kinect and PlayStation Move and the Wii U and the upcoming Switch. And I always buy into it just because I love all the gimmicky shit. And sure. I didn't realize until I got the VR that it's not just gimmicky shit. It's actually amazing. And
that sounds awesome.
It was actually a really pleasant surprise that it's a lot more than I expected. And I think that having now got my hands in it and actually tried it out, I think it's going to have... I was going to say a longer lifespan than we're used to, but I think it's going to have a lifespan because nothing in the past really has. The Wii, I guess, is the longest lifespan, and then the PlayStation Move and Kinect just died an immediate death.
Yeah, they didn't work that well. Neither did the iToy.
Oh, I forget about the iToy every day.
Yeah, although that card game did look like it was going to be cool.
Eye of Judgment?
Yeah, that one.
I played that game a bit, and I was just way too confused. I'm nowhere near smart enough for that game.
So what about VR? What'd you pick up for that?
I got a few games. I got the Until Dawn Rush of Blood, which is just it's a ghost train.
Okay.
It's literally an on-rails shooter where you're stuck inside a cart on a ghost train, and it starts off you have two little spud guns, and you have to shoot these targets that pop up, and then there's a clown and shit goes crazy and you get gassed, and then you go on a psychedelic trip and you have real guns, and then there's shotguns, and it's really good.
Awesome.
It is a crazy psychedelic trip, and it works really well with being stuck on the train and stuff, because it's like an on-rails shooter, House of the Dead or something, but one with a little more context that you're not just... your character's not just moving on your behalf. There's a reason for it. And it's actually a lot better than I expected. This whole thing was just an experience of me expecting something okay and then getting something that was actually blowing my mind.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
What else did I get? Well, there's a free game that you get on the PlayStation Network called the Playroom VR. And that's honestly, out of all of the stuff that I got for VR so far, that's the best one. It's completely free, and it's just 5 mini games that you can play. One of them you can play on your own, and then the rest of them are all multiplayer.
Other people with headsets?
No, so one person wears the headset, and then everyone else just has a controller. And it's kind of Nintendo Land. Did you ever see any of that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love Nintendo Land.
Yeah, so it's very similar to that, the Ghost multiplayer things, where the person with the tablet is a ghost hunter, is the ghost, and then everyone else has to play the hunter and stuff. There's stuff like that. So there's one of them where the person on the headset is a cat, and the other people play as mice, and they have to run around with stuff hiding them. And when they move, so one of them's got a tin can over him, and when he moves, he lifts up the tin can slightly, and the cat has to pop its head out from behind some curtains, and if he sees it moving, it squashes the mouse.
Nice. Okay.
There's
I like that stuff.
My favorite one, you play as a giant Godzilla slug that's just rampaging his way through the city, and it's great because you just have to headbutt loads of buildings.
Oh, nice.
And headbutting stuff in VR is the most fun thing you're ever going to do.
I believe it. I mean, I have my doubts about the integrity of the headset on my head. I feel like I would lose it, but...
Oh, no, it's fine. It's very stable, but I did headbutt my girlfriend.
Yeah, take that.
That wasn't out of rage quitting or anything. That was pure accident, I promise.
That was a week before I bought that VR thing.
My favorite game I've played so far is called Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes. You've probably seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've played that on the PC.
Yeah.
I think my brother actually printed out the manuals and stuff when he showed it to me. makes it pretty cool to be actually flipping through a book, add something to it for sure.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like when you succeed, you feel great, and when you fail, you just feel like the biggest retard on the planet.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, at the same time, like, I don't know Morse code.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's not on me. Come on, dude. But like that was the hardest one I remember, was trying to keep track of the blinks on the Morse code thing, because I couldn't tell when it reset. So yeah, that was a tough one. But I assume the person with the VR headset is the one who's looking at the bomb.
Yeah, they're defusing the bomb, and you can like move it around and like look all around it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing. I like the way they did that manual up too. It looks all like official and clandestine in a way.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And Fruit Ninja, which is like a constant. Fruit Ninja's everywhere. You can't avoid Fruit Ninja. Every time like Connect got Fruit Ninja, and now it's got Fruit Ninja on VR. That's a lot of fun. It's like the exact same thing you'll expect from Fruit Ninja, but you have two swords. And there's a new mode. I don't know whether the survival mode was in any of the others. Not to my knowledge.
I'm not a Fruit Ninja expert, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun though. Fruit Ninja's like, it's just like a silly arcade game. There's not a lot to it, but there doesn't need to be.
Should be two swords and a headbutt.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, just straight through that watermelon.
Yeah, more games. They should be like releasing more headbutt games. There's a football heading game called Headmaster.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I've seen that around.
I only played the demo of that one, and it's got like a nice sort of like tone to it. It's like this really weird, goofy tone, but at the same time, there's like some really sinister things underlying it. Like if you actually look around yourself, you realize that you're in a big courtyard that has barbed wire fences all around it, so you're very clearly trapped somewhere that you're not allowed out of. But at the same time, the guy who's like doing the announcements and stuff is just like really goofy, and then when you get to the end of the demo, he's like, okay, it's time for your big test, and then heavy metal music starts playing, flamethrowers start firing off everywhere, and a giant fucking football machine appears out of nowhere that's like got fire coming out of it and stuff.
I could get into that. That sounds really rad.
Yeah,
I know that the Resident Evil thing is big, right?
Yeah, I haven't actually had a chance to play that yet. I'm going to play that tonight when it's all dark and spooky and I can turn the lights off and like get really involved in it.
I mean, it's always dark and spooky in the headset, right?
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, regardless. You showed me, you put a link in the chat of that candle, like that you burn while you play Resident Evil.
The candle's not out yet, unfortunately.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No, it's out on like next week.
For that full-on immersive experience.
I love the reviews. The reviews are like, this candle smells like some fucking rotten old house. And that's a 5-star review. That This candle smells like a fucking rotten house.
Perfect. Exactly on point. Exactly what I wanted. I mean, you have to be curious what that smells like. And you also have to like, at the same time, it's ridiculous, but it's also fascinating to engage like another sense while you're already immersed in the VR thing.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Whoever thought of that is just a genius.
Yeah, it really is like a great idea, but funny at the same time. It works on all the levels.
I definitely want to get it and try it out, mainly because I am curious of what it will smell like, and can't wait for everyone in my house to get very angry at me because I've made the fucking house smell like corpses.
Yeah, or just this house smells like a shitty old house now. or I mean, worst case scenario, you light it and nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like, oh no.
It's like
I was living in a shitty old house the whole
situation.
time. Oh man. Okay. Oh shit. All right. Well, video games.
Yeah.
I played not that many. Mostly mobile stuff. I played Gumballs and Dungeons, which I'm really coming around on, and I actually like a whole bunch now.
Yeah, you seemed conflicted on that last week. You liked it.
Yeah. Now I like it a whole lot. The deeper I get into it, the better I think it is. It's like there's puzzle dungeons and like you keep opening up more and more stuff and weird new activities to do and all this stuff. And once you get a crew going, you start thinking about who to bring and what skills to equip them with to try and achieve these different objectives. And it's actually a way better game than I thought it was. I like it a lot. I'm going to change my thumbs from sideways to one of them up.
The other one's from sideways?
Yeah, like the other one probably sideways. Let's go 45 degrees towards up on the second thumb there. But yeah, the deeper I get into it, the more I like it. Just the more mechanics, new and interesting stuff, and it continues to be new and different the more I play it. And if you're gonna, it's one of those mobile games though that's probably gonna take like 3 years to even do everything in.
Yeah.
Like it's way content heavy, but not complicated in any way. But just for something to pick up and mess around with, it's actually really great.
Is it like one of those free to play games that's like really restrictive because it's a free to play game? Like you can only play 5 minutes today, and then you've got to wait for
like
hours.
Actually, just very, very much the opposite. Like I've never run into any kind of free to play problem with it. I mean, I haven't spent any money on it yet, but I've been tempted. But that's just because I like it. Like I was thinking about spending money on it just to give the guys a few bucks because they made something cool instead of like, oh, I need this money to buy this thing to do something.
Yeah,
I'm
always more inclined to spend money on like something that doesn't need it, but I enjoy, rather than someone who's like forcing me to do it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like, you tip people who provide good service, right? So this is very similar to me, but yeah, absolutely not necessary at all. Worth checking out. But the other game I played this week was that Fire Emblem mobile game, which came out.
Oh, right, yeah, I didn't realize it was that
from
already.
Nintendo. And that game, I was very impressed with it first. It's very snappy for a mobile game. It's got a lot of snap. I don't know how else to describe it, but like it moves real fast, and when you click stuff, it opens and it just like zooms around real quick. And I'm used to having a very short delay on mobile games, I guess because they have to talk to servers or I don't know, something. But that game zips and pops, and it's real cool and real fun. But then after you get through, there's a whole campaign, and the campaign has difficulty levels, normal, hard, and then lunatic, I think. Once you get through the normal campaign, the free-to-play Python really starts to squeeze on you.
Right.
And I immediately got tired of that game after day one, was all it lasted for me. Because you only have 50 energy, and you get 1 point every 5 minutes, and eventually the levels to actually play them start costing like 15 or 20 energy.
Oh, God.
And the levels are like a really bite-sized affair. It's 4 people on each team. I think the grids are, let's say, 8x8, I want to say, is the grid. And so you can crank one of those out in like a minute or two. And I was looking at that, and that compared to the energy meter is like, okay, I can play this game for 5 minutes every 5 hours.
Yeah, it's not a very good turnover.
No, I'm not really into that. And plus, I don't have any attachment to the Fire Emblem series. Maybe if somebody was, they'd be more willing to go through that. But they've got their multiplayer online duel mode, but you can only do it 3 times a day. And just all this stuff, it just seems very oppressive, although it doesn't look like it at first. It takes maybe 2 or 3 hours for that stuff to really start hurting you.
Yeah,
but even then, that's still real fast, and it really sucks.
That's long enough for people to get really involved, though, right? That's long enough for someone to get invested and then have all this stuff thrown at them and be like, well, shit, I've come this far.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, maybe that's their entire goal, and then you end up, buying those orbs so that you can recharge your stamina. So I guess it's about $1 per orb, give or take. Obviously, they have that like best value discount pack and all that shit. But yeah, the game itself is pretty cool. I mean, like actually the playing of it. Like if you broke out, the game and then the free to play crap, the game taken as a separate thing is really neat. Moving around works really well on a touchscreen, and that classic Fire Emblem triangle of this beats that is all really cool. One of the main things that sucks is that the flying units can't really move that far. Like the biggest movement is like 2 squares. So the flying units don't actually they kind of suck in this one.
Right.
Because you can't just rush them up across the board. But, it moves. It's zippy. It animates really well. Plays really nicely. And then all that free-to-play shit just comes down hard. And leaves me feeling super bummed out, so I just uninstalled it. And I guess that's the consequence of stuff like that. Maybe they'll change it on down the road. I don't know.
I don't really like that whole I don't like how temporary the the pay-to-play aspects of those games are, where it's like, I'd rather just like pay maybe like a tenner or something and then just have the game, rather than having to pay like maybe £1 at a time, but then that only gets me enough to play one level a little bit quicker.
Oh, sure, yeah. And when it's disposable, it feels the worst. You're like, yeah, I could drop $5 on this, and then I could spend it, and it'll just be gone.
Yeah.
And then you don't have anything that carries on, or you don't have any lingering kind of upgrade out of that money you spent. Like, man, that sucks, because then it just feels like a hole to throw your money in, and it's just a mobile game. It's just not worth it to me. But there are people, I guess, who are way into that stuff, so who knows? I don't know. But as that's it, man. That's all I got. That is all I got. I'm crushingly busy.
I meant to say, I wanted to apologize for some comments I made, I think, on last week's podcast. I said that Little Big Planet 3 was fun. And on further playing of that game, I just want to apologize for that. That was the wrong thing to say. That game has fucking crushed me over the last week.
Well, I mean, that's the foundation of intellectualism, is being able to admit when you were wrong, right? What changed your opinion?
It's just so fucking janky and broken, and like, I went on one day to play it and went on to the campaign menu, and it was like, okay, you've completed 0 levels and you have 90% of the collectibles. So I couldn't play any of the levels because, according to the game, I hadn't played any of the levels or completed anything, yet somehow I had all the collectibles. So I had to like disconnect and reconnect like 9 times before I finally got it to work. And then like, I was trying to beat all of the levels without dying, which I eventually did, but in the process I kept dying to things that I wasn't even touching, like things that I'd killed, and then 5 seconds later they'd kill me. I was just an extremely frustrating process. And the game could have, like, you can tell at this point, the game could have done with another few months in development.
Is that like you think that's an online thing? Like you're getting some lag or something like that?
I don't know. I read, because I was playing it purely single player, but I did read a lot of people on the forums online saying that they had the same problem with their save data seemingly disappearing. And I think that has something to do with your Little Big Planet account online, because you have to connect to that in order to play or something. And that records progress separately to what your actual PlayStation does.
I mean, because that just doesn't make sense. You'd be like the one foreseen by prophecy with all the collectibles, but played none of the levels.
Yeah, it sounds like an incredibly complex way for them to make the game. And it's just an annoying fucking glitch to have and have to like resolve. Like, luckily it was resolvable, but I don't want to have to go through that many steps to just freaking play a game.
With puppets in it. Yeah, I mean, how long has that game been out? I mean, like, maybe it's a consequence of them winding down the servers or something.
I don't know, because, yeah, it just feels like, I think there's a lot of stuff in that game that was just fundamentally broken. I think it might be a consequence of, because the first 2 games were made by Media Molecule, right? Mm-hmm. And then this third one was made by Sumo Digital. So I'm assuming this is a new team that have come in and built on pre-existing foundations, but they weren't the ones who built those foundations, so they might not have had a very clear idea of what they were doing with them.
Sure, yeah.
That's my theory, at least.
It sounds reasonable to me. That's a bummer. Sorry to hear you went through that, but are you done now?
Yeah, I'm done.
Cool. Lock it up, put it away. Sweet, man. Anything else this week?
I played some Jackbox online last night.
Oh, excellent. Which one? The third one?
No, the first 2. It was just what my mate had, and we played it on Skype online.
That shit is so
via
good.
Screen sharing and mobiles. Yeah, it was amazing. It's
so good.
I said, like, all right, one more game, like, so many times.
Yeah, man. In a party environment, it's like just the best thing. I've seen friends of mine playing on Steam, and then I just right-click on their name and go to, what is it, like Stream or Watch Now or whatever?
Yeah.
And just jump right into their lobby. No big deal. Easy peasy.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. My favorite one was Fibbage.
Yeah, Fibbage is a hoot, man.
The dynamic of that game changed like halfway through our playtime of it, because at first it was all just like making silly answers and like trying to get a laugh out of the other guys. And then at some point it was just like, okay, we're playing to win. And that's when the game like gets really good, because when people are putting in serious answers to genuinely try and trick you and confuse you, rather than just like making knob gags,
yeah,
the game really comes into its own.
This is my move in Fibbage. This is my go-to move. I'll give it to you, friend to friend.
Right.
This is like the nuclear weapon. All right, you play, and the trick is punctuation, because people don't use punctuation, and sometimes they don't capitalize either, in which case they're easy to spot because they either spelled it wrong or didn't capitalize it. But you wait for one to come through where the actual answer is one with punctuation, and then you point that out to people, and you say, oh, I knew that was the answer because that's the one with a period in it. Like, which one? Nobody here is going to use punctuation. Just casually mention that. No big deal, right?
Right.
Roll it on to the final Fibbage, and then put in your answer, but with punctuation whenever it's appropriate, and just watch the money roll in.
All right, I'm writing it down.
That's the special trick right there, buddy.
That's awesome. I got to use that.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes it won't work until like two or three games later, where it's appropriate, to put punctuation in your final answer. But man, when it all comes together,
You got to plant the seeds early.
you do. You absolutely do, and just let them grow, man. Let them grow.
Nice.
Yeah, that whole game is good shit, man. The last one, the most recent one, has like an actual trivia game in it. It's like Trivia Murder Party. It's pretty good.
Oh, cool. What's new with the third one then? Like,
just new games, I think.
I know you can get like special tasks and like secret tasks specific for you that you have to complete discreetly and stuff like that.
Maybe. I don't know. We didn't play anything like that. We've played the T-shirt one where everybody draws pictures and then puts in slogans, and we played the Trivia Murder one, and I think that was all we've played so far. Oh, and Quiplash.
Oh, Quiplash is great.
Yeah, Quiplash is great. Yeah, Fibbage is good shit, man. And like another good moment in Fibbage is when you type in the answer and it is the answer, and you're like, whoa, whoops.
And then you just like slightly reword it so they have like a 50-50 chance of hitting
Sure, yeah. But now for sure. Yeah, that's like a good shit, man. That is a very good idea. I hope they just keep releasing them forever.
Yeah. Drawful is good as well.
Yeah, Drawful is also very good. Although I can't draw for shit, but I do.
And it's
like
even more difficult when you have like you're doing it on a phone with no erase function.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, if you have a stylus, you're like God in that one. All right, that covers that part of it. Let's see. You want to talk about some news?
Hell yeah.
Okay. You would. First news story. I got these from our very own Christopher Anderson, Select Character Zone. ZeniMax awarded $500 million in case against Oculus.
Oh shit.
So
I didn't even know that was a thing that was happening. Wow.
This lawsuit that began in May of 2014 said that the Rift appropriated technology from ZeniMax, including code, trade secrets, and technical knowledge in VR technology. 2.5 years of litigation, and now ZeniMax is going to receive $500 million for Palmer Luckey's failure to comply with a non-disclosure agreement. Damn. So, yeah, that's a lot of money,
That's
man.
an insane amount of money. Like, even for a huge company, that's a lot.
Oh, wow, yeah. So Oculus was acquired by Facebook. This was the amount I wanted to look at when Facebook bought them. That was $2 billion.
Jeez.
So that's like a quarter of that?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they've had sales and stuff since then, but I mean, just to like put it in perspective, when Facebook thought that Oculus was worth investing in, they gave them $2 billion, and this court ruling was $500 million.
Damn.
Yeah. So ZeniMax, buddy. ZeniMax about to get a cash infusion. What does ZeniMax even do? Oh, that's Bethesda. ZeniMax is...
They own Bethesda, or Bethesda owns them?
Other way around.
Oh, they own Bethesda, right?
Yep. So, all right.
That's good, man. Hopefully they'll be able to put like some more money into like QA now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a softball. That should be a softball pitch for you to just smack a home run on. Yeah. Oh, shit. Good shit. All right, let me turn this down. All right, so that's settled. The Iron Hammer of Justice has come down. Oculus paying ZeniMax $500 million. Although they might still settle or something. There might be some weird shit. Next up, Hello Games is... I wouldn't have wrote that title like that. Hello Games is Sean Murray to hold GDC talk about No Man's Sky's maths. That's fucking way too many apostrophes. All right. Sean Murray is going to talk about the procedural generation at GDC.
Okay.
All right.
It's like is this the first time he's publicly like shown his face since the PR disaster?
As far as I'm aware, that's true.
Oh, it's interesting.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't have much to say about that, but still interesting.
Yeah.
Stardew Valley is getting a collector's edition.
Cool. What's in it?
Coming to Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Costs $30 and comes out on April 11th.
Nice.
If
I
you
never
like
played
Stardew
that
Valley.
game.
No, you're fine. I wouldn't.
Oh, people love that game though, right?
I mean, yeah, people do. People like lots of shit, man. I don't know. Enrique actually likes it a whole bunch. He played it like way too much. I played it long enough to know I didn't like it.
Alright, fair enough.
Yep. Tech Raptor gave it a 10 out of 10, apparently.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a high number.
That's the highest you can give a video game. Whoa. Bum, 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 bum. Wow. All right. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, if you're into that, it's probably totally fine. Let's see. Okay. One last one. European Commission investigates Valve and 5 publishers.
Oh, that sounds
suspected anti-competitive practices and collusion.
Oh.
The press release names Bandai Namco, Capcom, Focus Home, Koch Media, and ZeniMax. Oh shit, ZeniMax about to lose their 500.
Goes in one side, comes out the other.
That's right. They're the publishers under investigation along with Valve. The focus of the investigation is on agreements between Valve and the publishers to implement geo-blocking, where companies prevent consumers from purchasing digital content because of their location and country of residence. Yeah, that's pretty common, right? Isn't it? The main issue of contention is that digital video game keys can grant access to a purchased game only to consumers in a particular EU member state, for example, the Czech Republic or Poland, and this may amount to a breach of EU competition rules by preventing or restricting the sale of PC video games across national borders within the European Economic Area. Oh, okay.
That's weird though, right? Is that weird? Like, aren't we past the stage of like region locked content now?
I mean, I would hope so.
Or shouldn't we be at
for
least?
Sure. But I think that the issue is not the region locking; it's that the EU is supposed to be completely interoperable, like same currency,
yeah,
and trade is supposed to flow freely and all that stuff. And they're selling it to different markets within the EU at different prices using different currencies. Or maybe it's just that certain keys can only be redeemed in certain parts of the EU, which violates that agreement. So, makes sense to me from a technical perspective. However, I don't know, man. I mean, you have to assume they knew what they were doing going into that stuff.
Yeah. I wonder, like, why, though? Like, that's all I really want to know is, like, what's the process to decide that, like, the Czech Republic isn't getting this game, but some other European country is?
Yeah, sure. Generally, it's like a currency thing. So, using currency manipulation... because let's say the dollar is strong and ducats, ruples, whatever is weak, like I could buy a brand new game for 20 of those dollars and then just put the key into my Steam library. And like that's what they're trying to stop. I imagine like that's the purpose of only selling things to certain regions.
Yeah, I would have thought that would all be solved by a digital marketplace anyway. Like, I don't know, I assume that would have like just automatically changed to reflect those things.
Well, yeah, like a digital marketplace would ideally do that. And like it makes sense from a business perspective and things cost different amounts in different places. But The problem is that the EU is supposed to be considered one place.
Yeah.
And they're not treating it that way. So is that a crime? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Although if I was the EU, I would go after ZeniMax because I just got $500 million. I don't know what that is. Probably a fine or something.
Yeah, probably.
Neat. Okay. Oh, Nintendo's going to air a Super Bowl ad for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, I thought... Oh, I saw... I was on YouTube the other day and I saw that there was a Super Bowl Nintendo Switch advert already uploaded. I assume the Super Bowl already been.
It's tonight. It's in 3 hours.
Oh, right. Cool. Can't wait to not watch it.
Yeah, and the very observant listener will now know when we record usually.
That's good though, man. That's a good platform.
It seems all right.
Everyone's gonna fucking know about the Switch now, which the biggest problem with the Wii U is that no one fucking knew about it. Most of the people who knew about it thought it was just an add-on for the Wii. So
that's true.
So if they're gonna they're doing marketing properly, you know, they've been on all these celebrity panel shows or whatever the fuck you call Conan O'Brien and all that sort of stuff, and now they're getting a Super Bowl commercial. That's great. It's great news.
Cost $5 million for a 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah, steep. I think that is cool, man. I hope they sell a ton of those things. I'm probably gonna buy one, and it's almost time to buy one.
Yeah.
Less than a month away.
Damn right.
Give or take. It's awesome, exciting stuff. You want to talk about gimmicks? That's where I'm at. HD Rumble. All day long.
Can't wait to play boxing with my long spring arms.
Oh, yes. Dude, when I saw that game was just called Arms, I actually put mine in the air trying to play. It's the best title for a video game that's ever been made. Just called Arms. Yeah. All right, because that's what it is.
It does what it says on the tin, man.
Yeah, it sure does. All right. Fuck. Anything else you want to talk about? No?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, I'm spent out of news stories as well. And that's it. Okay. I'm going to wrap this thing up. This has been the Select Characters Podcast featuring Samuel Yates and Jamie Van Lent. As always, you can find us online. Send us an email, selectcharacters@gmail.com. Jump into our Discord channel and chat with not Jamie. I'm there sometimes. And what else do we have? Oh, if you find us on iTunes or wherever else you can give us stars, please give us the appropriate amount of stars. I think, yeah, I'm supposed to say that. We need those, and leave reviews and we'll read them. Somebody will, probably. We're on SoundCloud, so we could take thumbs there. Just whatever the digital currency of love is, give it to us. We'll take it. And yeah, until then, we'll see you next week. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.